You are tuned in to What Up Baltimore online radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are of the host and not of Lady J Media. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Unusual Favor Show. I am your host, John Hansborough. I hope everyone is doing well this evening. I would like to say, I hope everyone's having a good day. All right. Normally, my wife is here with me. She couldn't be here today with me. She is tending to some other business that we have been blessed to be a part of or to be doing. So she won't be with me tonight, but I have a ton of information that I wanted to share, that we were going to share about communication. Okay. We've been married for 13 years, and in that 13 years, we've been through all types of, ups and downs and in and arounds, all types of things of that nature, right? So with that being said, over time you learn ways of communicating, or you learn different ways of trying to settle, I would say, settle disputes in a way that's healthier than what you used to settle it in, if that makes any sense to you. But I find that in marriage, communication is one of the main ingredients of a marriage. I know it is for my marriage with me and my wife. Our communication has definitely changed over the years. We've learned how to communicate differently and how to get our point across to each other without escalating into a verbal argument that just takes us nowhere. Now, I'm not saying we perfect and we don't do this all the time, but it's a lot better. Okay. So before we get started, though, I want to plug a few things. All right. I want to give a shout out to Lady J and Eric at Butterfly Entertainment. What Up Baltimore online radio. It's brought to you by Butterfly Entertainment. Shout out to my brother and partner Kevin Curry, all of the hosts at What Up Baltimore. We want to congratulate Lady J again on her doctorate degree. We had a wonderful celebration about a week ago, and it's really good to see people around you and their growth. It's really inspiring. So with that being said, on June 26th, okay, we're having a social networking event. June 26th, 4:30 to 7 p.m. All right. It is a social networking event. We need vendors, we need poets, we need musicians. Now, the vendor fee, well, first of all, general admission for this event is $30. The vendor fee is $35. All right. This is all you can eat, American and Asian cuisine, live music and poetry. This is going to be a very good event. You should come out, meet some people, get the networking, things of that nature. That's one of the main ways of us staying connected is networking with each other, passing on information and meeting new people, things of that nature, right? So you don't want to miss that. June 26th, 4:30 to 7 p.m. Vendors, you need to contact my partner Kevin Curry ASAP. You need to contact Kevin Curry ASAP at Community Light Love. communitylightlove@gmail.com. And get your registration fee filled out as soon as possible. We'll be closing registration within the next, I'm sure, 24 to 48 hours. All right. So, with that being said, okay, let's start off before I give out some of this information that my wife and I have accumulated about communication. But I would like to read one or two poems first, okay? Just to inspire anyone or, push anybody. You never know what anyone's going through. There's a lot of depression going on right now. And, um, a lot of people are not in a good place or a good space, I should say. Um, a lot of us are good at hiding things of that nature too, because some of us may not be in a good space at all, but a lot of people would never know it unless they're really close to you or something like that. All right. So I just wanted to share a few poems just to inspire anyone who may be going through something. You can find all of my books on Amazon. Unusual Favor is on Amazon in the paperback version and in the ebook version. A true account of overcoming infidelity and addiction. That is a story about my wife and myself, um, where I share a lot of some of the things that we went through as a married couple, things that should have actually uh, that could have put a wedge in between us and separated us, but we were, determined to support each other and stick together, and we still do that to this day. So get the book. You can read all about that. Unusual Favor. Part 2 will be out in just a few short months. I'm so excited to say that. Unusual Favor 2. Shout out to my publisher and my lovely editor, the wonderful Angela Edwards out of Houston, Texas. Pearly Gates Publishing. If you're a writer or poet, if you don't even have anything down, but you have an idea, get it down on paper and contact this lady as soon as possible because she can help you. She helped me with a lot to get my book published and to get my material in some of the right places. And she gave me a plethora of information that I had no idea. All right. So Spitfire Poetry Volume 1 and Volume 2 is also available on Amazon right now. I have those in the paper book versions. Also, I have about 12. Yes, I have 12 singles right now on all of the social musical platforms. All right, Spotify, iTunes, you name it, all of it. You go on there, all of my singles are on there. My latest two that I just released is Flatline, which is a poem about some things that I went through when I almost lost my life, basically. And the other poem I just released is called Baltimore. So you'll be hearing them. I'll be sharing them on my social media pages. But you can go on any of the musical sites and get any of my music. So let's start with a poet's prayer. This is a poem that I wrote basically for myself to keep me inspired and to remind me of why I do what I do. Okay. Um, but this is a poem that I would like to use a lot at my open mics and things of that nature before me and the other poets start to recite our poetry. So this is called A Poet's Prayer. Let us pray. It's the Spitfire poet with unusual favor. Grab your neighbor's hand as we bow down in prayer. Father, forgive us for what we do. Our goal in life, I'm sorry. Father, forgive us for what we do. Our goal in the end is to be just like you. We fall short so many times, and you're there with open arms no matter the crime. So much going on I don't understand. I remember so much going on I don't understand. I keep remembering myself of your divine plan. An abundance of hatred expressed in the world. A couple of events are lined up with the word. Division, disease, so many things we don't need. The attitude of our leaders is it's all about me. Please cover us all. Please cover us all. Keep us safe when surrounded by so much harm. Heal the hearts that have turned cold so we can move forward and not be stuck in a season In Jesus' name we pray and thank you for every reason. So that is a poet's prayer that I like to say to myself at least twice a month. All right, communication. So, what me and my lovely wife are going to talk about today was communication. Um, one of the things that I think is the main ingredient in a relationship, right? If you don't have communication, a lot of things just start to fall apart gradually. You know, all different types of things in your relationship, whether it be finances, sex, you know, whatever. Um, so one of the first things that I've come across in communicating, or ways to communicate, let's put it that way, because it's ways to communicate effectively. All right. One, take time to think before speaking. I'm going to repeat that again. Number one, take time to think before you speak. Now, I'm no doctor. I don't have any degrees on the wall or nothing like that, but I am a life. Um, I'm sorry. I can't share with you some of the things that I went through in my life that should have broken me and actually did break me, but I was able to bounce back and keep going with the help of God. Thank that definitely. Definitely. So take time to think before speaking. Saying the wrong thing, even at the right time, can seriously injure a person. Think of a think, for example, of a doctor misspeaking an order for medication that turns out to be wrong and hurts the patient. Saying the wrong thing in a court of law could send an innocent person to jail for a long time. Since words have such power, it is very important how we communicate. Therefore, take time to listen. Be careful how you answer and take time before speaking. Now, take time before you speak. That's I'm glad that that's number one because that is very important. That's something that I had to learn. A lot of times in a relationship, when you get to a point where you could be having a disagreement um, with your mate, you guys are communicating or you're talking, but no one's listening. You're both talking at the same time. I say something, and as soon as I finish my sentence, you come right back with something else, and we just keep shooting back and forth, and no one is really listening to what the other one is really saying, right? Um, a person's style of speaking offers clues to their underlying ability to listen deeply. During moments of genuine connection, what we say will be responsive to what the other feels, says, and does. When we poorly when we are poorly connected, however, our communications become verbal bullets. Our message does not change or to fit the other person's state, but simply reflects our own. Listening makes the difference. Talking at a person rather than listening to him or her reduces a conversation to a monologue. Two, all right. And also, the number here is 443-297-4753. Call in if you have any suggestions or any um, techniques that you use to communicate in your relationship, at your job, with your children, because I'm going to talk about communicating with children as well. I have two daughters. I have two lovely daughters, 12 and 9. And I'm learning a lot just by raising young ladies, actually. You know, me and my wife are definitely learning a lot. I know I am. A lot of stuff that we come across, my wife is already familiar with by being a lady, and once being a young lady or whatever. But a lot of stuff is new to me. So, um, number two, which is one that I also believe is very important, and it's very important to me. It's something that I need to still focus on and work on because I have not perfected it the way I want to. And that is be slow to speak and quick to listen. Be slow to speak and quick to listen. Take time to focus on what the other person is doing and saying. Most of us hear, but do not really listen. See, most of us hear, but we don't really listen. We tend to focus our minds on what we are going to say or how we will answer rather than focusing upon and understanding what the speaker is trying to communicate. So that's what I was just saying. Like, if you're communicating with somebody or you're having a disagreement and y'all can't come to a comfortable medium, you're just shooting back and forth. No one's listening to the next person. It's that's just a waste of time. It really is waste of time, waste of energy, and a lot of times in the end, it just makes the situation worse because you're both just arguing. You're not even listening to each other. All right. Number three is another one that I love. Speak to help the listener. Speak to help the listener. Now, this is important because everyone isn't everyone has different strengths. We all have different strengths. We all have different weaknesses and things like that. So a lot of times someone can say things to you that will discourage you or put you in a state that maybe can throw you into depression, all different types of things, right? Um, Speak to help the listener. So communicate with the intention of helping the listener. Communicate with the intention of helping the listener. There are many reasons why people talk. Sometimes it's merely to test a relationship, as often happens with small talk. There are those who think out loud. So, as a listener, you just happen to be present as they are trying to process their thoughts. Other times, it's to present information for whatever the reason. Still, other occasions, the speaker is communicating a need for an answer or an assistance. Okay, it's small talk. If it's small talk that you can help the listener by presenting something to the conversation that brings value to it and to the other person. If you're not sure what the point of the talk is, then simply and politely ask for clarification. Such a thing can be very helpful with someone who presents something that might be in a need. A good habit to get into is scenarios like that is to ask, are you telling me this to bounce ideas off of me or because you are asking for my help? That's important right there. Are you asking me this so you can bounce ideas off of me or are you asking for my help? There's a lot of times when people are asking you for their help or say they could be asking you, say they're in a financial situation and they need to borrow money from you, okay? And you being the person who's loaning out the money or giving your service and whatever this person may need, you are, letting them know, look, this is, I'm doing this for you. Or it depends on how you come across to the person. Because a lot of people, when they're in need of help, they really don't want to hear a lot of, they don't want to be bashed. Let's just put it that way. Try to help them, try to speak to them and helping them, not chastise them or, throw a whole bunch of words or scriptures at them. Um, Try to put some empathy your in your action when you're helping people. Okay. Speak with straightforwardness. We often tend to play games with people by not being open and honest. This is a practice for those who have learned to be passive aggressive. However, the people we admire the most are those who are honest and truthful. Men or women considered to be leaders or have charisma or are given high respect are those who can speak with candor. Speaking candidly does not mean speaking harshly, rudely, or in a way that can harm anyone. Learning to speak the truth with tact and finesse will give you freedom and your ability to work with people and reward you with positive regard from others. All right. Also, number 5, I want to say this too while I'm thinking about it. Be aware that nonverbal communication always Be aware that nonverbal communication is always at work. Be aware that nonverbal communication is always at work. It's always being practiced. Nonverbal communication may speak louder than words, but they are not as distinct as words. Nonverbal communication includes body language and posture, facial expressions, dress and clothing, behavior. In fact, all behavior is communication. When you're communicating, if I'm talking with my wife and we're discussing something or we having an issue, um, and this is good too because a lot of like body language um can affect the way that you're getting your point across to the person you're talking to, or for you to receive what the person is saying to you. Their body language sometimes can play a factor in turning you on or off where you don't even want to listen to them, or you may feel, you just may feel a certain way because of the way that the body language that this person is using. You may feel like they have an attitude, all types of things like that. You see, what's another one? Careful to use the right words. Be careful to use the right words at the right time. As the saying goes, say what you mean and mean what you say. It is very important to understand that words have power. A good habit to get into is thinking through what you intend to say to be sure that it is indeed what you mean to say. The level of verbal precision is based on the level of importance and at the moment. Obviously, a major in the military will need to speak with precision when when ordering an assault on the enemy, whereas there is hardly a new I mean I'm sorry, where there is hardly a need for verbal precision where playing tag with your daughter. At the same time, saying the right thing at the wrong time can damage the situation or the relationship. Say the right words at the right time. Saying the right words at the right time can do more than just make a person feel good in the moment. It can have an impact that is positive and lasting. I'm going to say that last line one more time. Saying the right words at the right time can do more than just make a person feel good in the moment. It can have an impact that is positive and lasting. That is from Dr. John Maxwell and Dr. Les Parrott. Um, that's powerful right there because I don't even know how I should say this. A lot. Okay. If you're going through something, find the right people to talk to. Don't just share your stuff with everyone. All right. Um, Number one, hopefully you're a praying person. You need to pray about it first. You got to build your relationship with God, um, a personal relationship with Him. I'm telling you, you have to. And I was able to do that in my life where I basically was forced to because I was at a breaking point in my life. I was at a crossroads where I was like, I wanted to. There was a time in my life in my marriage where I was just at a crossroads. I had to weigh a lot of options. I had to think about a lot and deal with a lot. So, with saying the right words at the right time is important because when a person is going through something, they're already fragile, right? So, depending on what you say to them can uplift them or it can break them even more, right? So I just wanted to share a lot of that tonight about communication. My wife wasn't able to be here with me tonight, um, but we do appreciate each and every one that supports us. Um, we're going to have to get her on the next show. I'm putting her out there right now. She's going to have to sing a little medley for us on the next unusual favor show. Um, and like I said, on that event for the social networking event that we're doing on June 26th, my wife will be singing a song or two. Um, and I'll be sharing some poems. I believe my brother Kevin Curry will be performing and sharing some poetry. So I can't wait for that event. It's going to be a really good look. All right. So let's get back to another poem for inspiration. All right. This is a poem that I used to say a lot when I went to different churches to do poetry sometimes over the last maybe, 2 or 3 years. Ever since COVID hit, I haven't really been doing any poetry in any churches or any events other than some of the poetry events that have just started. Shout out to my sister Precious Love Givens too, for Poets for Dinner at the end of this month. I can't wait for that. I wasn't the last one last month. I wasn't able to attend. But I cannot wait for this next one coming up at the end of the month. You want to look out for Precious Love Givens. Log on Facebook, Instagram, all of the social media stuff, and follow her event to see when she's doing her poetry dinner at the end of the year. At the end of each month, because it's a very good event. I believe in pushing and sharing and networking with all like-minded people who are doing the same things or have the same ideas, aspirations, and goals. There's enough room for everybody. So I share everybody's stuff on my page. I have no issue with that at all. All right. So this poem that I want to share is called Press. Well, we're running out of time. Okay. I got a lot that I want to do. So Press. Um, this is something that I wrote to encourage myself, right? This is called Press. Press your way when you think it's not your day. Just think God woke you anyway to see a new day. Why waste it away? He could have let you drift off like a boat at sea, never to return, no ashes for the urn. Press your way when the adversary tries to keep you buried in negativity. Press your way, yeah, that's how you push a demon away. With all of the scheming, gossip, no meaning, wasting your time, who cares who's conspiring? Press your way. Your kids go through things that bring on some change. They talk about what they see inevitably. Just press your way. Don't go astray and let the enemy have its way. Have your mind locked in chains. Free yourself. No solitary confined. I'm not hard to find. You don't follow me? Who cares? What I eat, poetry or poultry, the devil can't hold me. The pen is my staff, my only employee. I still press my way even when it's pouring because it always rains to wash away things. Then come spring, things start to grow again. If you just press your way when it rains, it blossoms new things. Press. 443-297-4753. Call in, let me know how you do with how you practice ways of communicating in your life, in your marriage, at your work, with your children. Okay. I'll share this one before at the end of the show. Communicating with children is very important as well. And with that being said, my wife and I have actually have our children to see and speak with therapists. I think it's twice a month, just so they can, express themselves. They may not want to tell daddy and mommy everything, even though we try to keep it very open, but sometimes kids just don't want to share everything. They may feel comfortable with sharing it with someone else. So um, our children definitely see and talk to a um, a therapist just for them to release some things that they may be wanting to talk about. Like I said, that they might not want to share with us, right? Um, And with that too, with communication, I am a firm believer on trying to encourage our kids as much as possible. So I'm a father, trust me, so I know our children can be. Um, Life is rough sometimes, and we go through stuff, and everyday struggles and things of that nature. Your kids can say things and do things that get on your nerves and frustrate you, but they're your kids, and they're learning from us. You know, so I when my children have an issue, or say my youngest daughter is having an issue with something at school, um, and she's asking me for her help, how am I going to help her? Am I frustrated while I'm talking to her, which is going to make her in turn put up a block and not even want to, it's not, she's not even listening to what I'm saying if I'm talking at her, instead of talking to her or inspiring her, a lot of times with children, I I I I think the best way to get them to come around is to encourage them. Um, because it's a lot different than what it was when we were all growing up. These kids go through a lot now. Um, um, I keep my relationship very open with our girls because um, I just want to, as a dad, I want to know how they're feeling and what they're going through. I don't want to be blindsided with things, and you can't. Some things are going to happen that you're not going to know, whatever. But if you try to keep the relationship open, I believe that's the best way to try to keep a hand. Um, so I want to share another poem too. This is called "It's Wrong." This is called "It's Wrong." This is something that I wrote um, that also was something to inspire me because of what we were going through. This was like right in the middle of the COVID. We were on the lockdown. I was writing a lot and just putting a lot on paper so I can get through stuff that we were dealing with as a whole, as a country, whatever. So this is called "It's Wrong." It's wrong, and it's been going on for far too long. We should sing a new song. The people have spoken. Some are going off emotions because it's wrong, and it's been going on for far too long. We can make a change, but it requires us to change. Change the way we spend our dollars. To them, that's the only thing that matters because their pockets, it get fatter. When you spend money with the man, you should be buying land. I don't understand what's going on. So many things I see are wrong, and it's been going on for far too long. We should sing a new song, fight to children. 2020 was a year of constant worry and fear. Deadly virus, police brutality, fighting injustice. It's abundantly clear that we still have so far to go after so much blood, sweat, and tears because it's wrong. It's wrong. All right. I also just recorded that. Shout out to super producer, my man T Hart. I just did 4 singles with him that I'm gonna release towards around August or something like that. And I can't wait for y'all to hear that. I love putting my poetry over some hot tracks, and T Hart's got some hot stuff I've recorded with him. I recorded with Donnie Durango. Shout out to Donnie Durango, Four Wheeler Music. Um, the wonderful and awesome uh, God, Maurice Curl. I'm sorry, Maurice Curl at Stinky Face Music. I recorded a few things with him. So um, let me see. What other? That's some other information I want to give out before we get out of here. Like I said again, June 26th, social networking event. Um, you want to come out to that if you can. Um, all you can eat American cuisine, Asian cuisine, music, poetry. It's all will be recorded live through Up Baltimore. This is an in-person event, so like I said, general admission is $30. For vendor fees, it's $35. You want to hit up my brother KC, Kevin Curry, for the registration at communitylightlove@gmail.com. All right. So inspire somebody, man. You know what I mean? Push somebody, inspire somebody, because we all go through things. On Wednesday, the 23rd, my Spitfire Poetry podcast show, I will have the 23rd. I'm sorry, I'll have Kiana Roy. On and Desmond Guy. Um, I will have them on the show next week, so you want to tune into that. I'm sure both of them will be dropping some jewels. Kiana Roy, this is like her third time on the show. Um, and when she first came on my show, she just blew it out the water. Like really, that was one of my best shows so far. I really was happy about that show and happy that she was able to release some things. Also, shout out to Ava Smith, is a young lady from out of South Carolina that I met maybe 2 weeks ago when I was at Graffiti Alleyway. I met this young lady. She's a wonderful poet. If you didn't see my show last week for Spitfire, you want to go on to the What Up Baltimore page or go on YouTube, pull up What Up Baltimore Spitfire Poetry Podcast. The last show that I did. Today's the 16th. That was on June 9th with Aiden. A really good show. She's another young lady who's very talented, who man, I love to see people flourish in their gifts, and sometimes a lot of us need to be pushed into our gift. A lot of us, and there's nothing wrong with that, but a lot of us, the confidence may not be there or the self-esteem may not be there. Um, but when you are able to help someone or push someone into their gift or into a place where they are feeling good about themselves, to me, that's the best thing in the world. I love it. I really do. I love it. I was a I was a head deacon at a church for a number of years in the past, and I've seen a lot of people get help, and I've seen different ways of how to help people and talk to people and encourage people, um, and to do what I love to do, which is poetry and spoken word, to do that and to be able to use words to encourage someone else or use, my influences on someone who is a poet as well, who may not, a lot of people don't like sharing their poetry. A lot of people don't feel comfortable. There's a lot of poets out there that we don't even know that they're a poet because they just won't share their gift because they may feel a certain way, you know. But I love to see when that key is unlocked and all of those things just come out because they're able to express themselves in a way that helps them. And I absolutely love it, I really do. Um, I was told one day that I should be uh, still doing the work that I was doing in a church because it's needed, and I should be using my ability and gift as a deacon to help other people. But what's interesting is what I'm doing right now is helping people. Like what I'm doing right now, when I bring someone on my Spitfire show and they release demons that they have been dealing with in their life, and they have tears and stuff just coming down their face. And at the same time, they're smiling because they're releasing some of the bullshit that they were dealing with. I love it. I love it. So don't just, you got to be firm and confident in what you're doing. Keep your relationship with him because sometimes people can say things to you and you can take it a certain way, and they may be meaning one thing but you may take it a certain way. So just be confident in what you're doing. If your relationship is strong with God, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. That business that you're doing will be supported. That idea that you have will flourish. Don't worry about who support you and all that. If he gave, I say it all the time, if he gave you the vision, he's going to give you the support system to make your vision come to a reality. All right, I'm telling you. Shout out to my big sisters there, Miss Joyce Butler and Van. Love you guys. You guys always support me. Thanks for watching the show today. Um, Wow. What up, Baltimore Online Radio? I'm telling you guys, check us out. There's a lot of great things going on, a lot of things that are coming up that we're doing, um, especially in the community. Um, this summer we're going to be in a lot of different places in the community, doing a lot of different things just to try to uplift people. You know what I mean? Try to get people in a better place, because we've been through a lot and it's time to come out of it now. So shout out to What Up Baltimore. This is brought to you by Butterfly Entertainment. I want to say a shout out to all of the lovely hosts um, at What Up Baltimore. I love you guys. Shout out to my brother Kevin Curry. He will be back with me on the Spitfire show next month. He is doing some things too um, this month, for the month of where we in June, that he wasn't able to be on a lot of the Spitfire shows, but he will be back in July. Um, and check him out too. He's got a lot of music out. KC Lazarus, you want to look him up on all social media sites, all of the musical sites. My brother's got a lot of inspiring poetry that can uplift you, definitely. So, and also look out for my wife, Shalanda Hansborough. Pull her up on Amazon or any of the other musical sites. Her single "Unusual Favor" is still available. That is what started this whole journey that we're on with "Unusual Favor." You know, she started that with writing that song "Unusual Favor." Um, I'm not sure what she is going to share when she sings on the 26th, but I got a few of my favorites that I would want her to sing, but we'll see what she does. Um, One of my favorites that she sings is "Change Me," though. When she sings "Change Me" from Tamala, man, I be ready to just my emotions go from crying to happy to just wanting to run through a wall because of what God has done for us. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've watched some of the things that we've had to deal with and how we were able to come out of it. And the only way we were able to come out of it is the grace of God. That's it. So I don't want to take up too much time. You guys want to stay tuned to the Truth Seeker show. What's coming up next? That's a good show. I like that brother. He's a real straightforward guy. Shout out to Fred. Um, like I say, if you want to be blessed, you have to bless other people. If you're not blessing nobody else, how in the world do you think that you're going to be blessed if you're not blessing somebody else? So, with that being said, communication, communication, communication. Learn how to speak with empathy and uplift people when you're talking to them. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you next Wednesday on June 23rd, Spitfire Poetry Podcast with my sister Kiana Roy and my man Desmond Guy. All right. Check out Kiana Roy's podcast tomorrow, Thursday, the 17th. Thursday, Grassroots. You want to check her out. I believe her show comes on at 8 o'clock. So shout out to my sister Kiana Roy. You want to check her out. Um, y'all be safe out here, be vigilant. And like I said, if you don't bless anybody, you can't be blessed. If you want to stay blessed, bless somebody else. All right. Have a good night, guys. Love y'all.